got any social media you want to plug or anything?
Facebook, Samuel Mike. Instagram, IM3_3, and Snapchat, IM3_3.
Yeah. Well, today we had something special. You know what I'm saying? We got another guy on the way. He's another teacher we went to school with. His name is, I think it's Chris. Yeah, Curtis Hassan.
Yeah, CJ.
Yeah.
CJ.
Oh, so yeah, he on the way too. But you know what I'm saying? We just wanted to know what I'm saying, talk about teachers and, you know, in this day and age type stuff. So I invited 2 teachers to come sit down with us and, you know what I'm saying, talk about their experience as teachers. And, you know what I'm saying, just general all around questions. So we're going to just start it out. Like, what even made you become a teacher?
Man, I wanted to be a teacher since I was in the 6th grade, actually. Started in middle school with my math teacher, Miss Tucker.
It's always that one that inspired you. It's always that one.
And I mean, don't get me wrong, I wasn't bad, but you know, I was a little hyperactive. Mm-hmm. And you know, she was always the one, you know, to calm me down, talk to me, get me right. And luckily she taught math, which was also my favorite subject. So just led me to the career path that I'm in today. And also Coach Gilchrist from Northside as well. That was one of my mentors. And also I became an educator.
Yes. How long have you been teaching?
I actually started subbing in 2015, worked my way up the ladder. So I got at my school that I'm at now in 2016 and been there ever since. So,
so we have another teacher here.
Yes, I was an educator at one point in time, but you know, the money ain't always there. So I'm no longer an educator.
Right.
But I taught STEM and mathematics in Bibb County at Alexander 2.
Okay.
With Alexander 2, Miller, Bruce, basically any of the low-income areas, because you know most kids have access to mathematics, but not hands-on STEM stuff. So I would go in and literally like show them how electricity works with a potato, show them how soil works through the natural cycle and stuff. So I completely understand what you mean, because I mean those like that, it just takes that one kid to latch to you, and you're just like, this is it, like this is my career field. But, you know,
I got a real quick one.
Before we get into our other educator just walked in.
Come on
so
in.
So we just had our other educator just walk in, so if you can introduce yourself.
How y'all doing? CJ Haslam. First name actually Curtis, but yeah. Northside High School mathematics teacher.
Hey.
Right.
What's your social media?
So if you want to plug?
Social media, _Black Educator on IG.
There it is.
Okay. So we just asking Sam here, you know what I'm saying, what made him start teaching? So we're gonna ask you the same thing. Like, how long have you been teaching and what made you start?
Okay, so this is actually my 5th year in education. I started off as a parapro. This is my 3rd year with my own class. Truthfully and honestly, growing up, I didn't want to be a teacher. A lot of people told me I should do it, and I mean, I did tutoring from middle school, like tutoring my peers. I actually worked in college as a peer tutor, so it was kind of more of a calling type of thing, and I feel like overall God just placed me there. It wasn't something I truly wanted to do. I switched different jobs after I graduated college. I graduated with an accounting degree because I really went into college not knowing what I wanted to do. I just wanted to do something that had to do with numbers. But getting out of college, one of my professors told me, he was like, just want to let y'all know, CPA exam is like the hardest exam out there. I was looking, I was like,
You said CPA?
CPA.
Mm-hmm. Certified Public Accountant.
Yeah.
So he told us that, and I was like, nah. He was like, statistically, it's harder than the bar exam, and it's harder than, what is NCLEX?
Yeah, the NCLEX, that's the nursing,
so,
the NCLEX, and the bar.
Lawyer and nursing, he was like, statistically, the CPA exam is harder. I was like, that's not motivating for somebody that got an accounting degree. So I ain't really try to get deep into accounting. I went to work at Purdue for a little bit, ended up leaving there, went to work at Coca-Cola, left there, went to work as a car salesman. Then I was just like, man, let me try to get into school. And I did. Got in as a parapro. And then I tried to get out. And God was like, nah.
You in there.
Let me shut all these doors.
We stay in there.
We in there.
I've been in his since. I mean, when I tell you I tried to get out, I mean, I'm filling out applications and all those doors like, nah. But as soon as I try to get deeper into it, as in go from parapro to teacher, look at that. Huh, interview. Oh, look at that. Got the job. Nah, I'm in here.
Right.
And
Okay.
it's your calling, it's your calling.
See, you got a question for him?
First of all, Northside, please do something about football team. Cause
We not here to talk about football.
we not. I'm just saying. Cause
Is it-
you know it's Northside.
My grade, I do coach football. I coach ninth grade. But I ain't the man in charge.
He's like, look, it's all
You
the
coach
head coach.
I am, but I do not coach here in Houston County.
Exactly.
No matter how much I try to recruit him.
Where
I
you coach
in
at?
Bill County.
Is it Weaver?
Yeah, I coach football at Weaver, and I do track at Westside.
Well, I had a question earlier, Phil, but since you brought it up, you said what made you want to leave teaching when you got in? Because you said you tried to get out.
Yeah, I mean, I tried to get out as a parapro. Parapros just don't make no money. That's the only reason I really tried to get out. It ain't nothing that was going on inside the building that was just like, man, I can't do this. This ain't for me. Parapros just don't make no money.
Yeah, and my other question, because of the current times now, and especially how you see on social media how bad some of these kids are there any students that just made you say, you know what, I'm not doing this no more?
For me, nah. As social media portrays it, it's not as bad in the building as a lot of people think.
And as a past educator myself, it's really not. The kids just need some love. Like, that's just the realest thing ever. They don't get it at home, and they think they can act out because you look like them, and then when you really talk to them, they be like, all right, so yeah, you care about me. Let me call
I mean, I don't see some students put hands on teachers. I see some teachers put
They
hands
know who to put their hands on.
Exactly. That's
Like, I came in working as a parapro. I worked at Crossroads. So I worked at alternative school where they be like, man, these are the bad kids. I done had conversations, a lot of talking. I'll sit there and talk back and forth with it. I don't even budge.
Right.
Sit in the desk and they talking, I be talking, and they don't even move. And I would literally, hey, you talking, but you talking from over there.
Right.
And they won't move. So as bad as they want to be, it's really putting the image out for their peers to say, oh, I'm that guy. Like, a lot of them that do all this talking back and forth and everything, they just putting on for people that's in the classroom. It ain't really their actual character.
So basically, his question kind of leads me into mine. To like, we talk about mental health, but as far as mental health for kids, teachers have a lot to do with that because they spend a lot of time with a lot of teachers. So, what my question is you say you deal with a lot of, I ain't gonna say bad kids, but like let's say kids that have emotional differences and stuff like that, can't control their emotions. So like when I say mental health, do y'all think y'all play a part in that? Or what?
Without a doubt. I mean, day to day is kind of like I'm the teacher, but for some kids, man, I'm like the therapist to them. Like they literally come to my class to just talk. Like,
Well, I feel
we ain't talking
I know
about
all of us had
Yeah,
that one
you talk.
we
teacher.
just talk.
We just
like,
go.
man,
It's lunch period, and they
Yeah.
in your room.
You got students that know me that I didn't even teach. They just know me, know where my classroom is, and they just Miss Adams, and they have a question about this and have a question about that, and they just literally come to talk. Now, granted, I do have some students that I don't feel like that listen out that much, but my very first year, like my very first class in my own classroom, are now juniors. I had one student that wrote me last year during Teacher Appreciation Week and left me a note that was like, I really appreciate the talks that you had. You showed me how to look out for myself as far as who I'm surrounded by and everything like that. Like, so it shows me that she really took that in, because I used to tell her in class, like, hey man, you and this group right here ain't gonna mesh, right? Like, they was all a big group and they got along so well, but they weren't doing nothing in class though. Like, when she separated herself from that group, drama went on and things like that. She was like, Miss, I'm so glad you told me to watch who I hang around. I only hang around them and I ain't in that drama. And she just separated herself from the classroom. So I know they're listening. So when it comes to mental health, like, you really are some of these students' therapists. Like, you give them that advice, you don't think they listening, because again, when they're in front of their peers, they put on a show.
I feel that. Because I ain't gonna flex. When I was in Northside, man, I knew for a fact school wasn't for me. I knew it. I knew it. Like, at one point in time, I just wouldn't even go. But, like, I think I'll probably show up around lunchtime. And, like, you know what I'm saying?
Most of the day.
But you'll be surprised how many students that.
But look, the reason why I said it is because I forgot Buddy's name. He was I think a science teacher or whatever. Anyway, I wanted to come into class one day. He was like, Courtney, he was like, man, what you gonna do? I was like, what you mean? He's like, honestly, he like, I ain't trying to be a dad, and then like, he like, but you don't come to school, but you need an education. So what are you gonna do?
That's how
I was like, it ain't him either. But he was like, what you gonna do? And I was like, I don't know. I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. So like, he was like, have you ever like thought about just going to get your GED? I was like, and that for retarded folk? He was like, no, a GED is just another equivalent to getting your like high school diploma. Shit like that. So I was like, nah, I ain't no thought about it, whatever. Crazy thing about it, that same day I went home, my mom wound up coming up to me and was like, hey, the school done called me a bunch of times, like saying you just ain't coming. And you about grown, so I ain't about to sit here and force no grown person to go sleep. Go to school. So she wound up coming out with like a job corps packet. And I read over it. So I wound up actually going to school that day, and I was like, hey man, so my mom kind of gave me this job corps packet. I was like, what you think? He was like, he looked over, he was like, it might be all right for you. He like, I can't make the decision for you, but honestly, you need to get some kind of education. Mm-hmm. So I was like, all right. Thought about it. Told my mom. Told her, I said, I'm gonna try it. So my job was the best thing that ever happened to me for real. I wound up getting my high school diploma. Wound up getting a trade. You know what I'm saying? I could work on any building, anywhere, anytime. You know what I'm saying? Just teachers do have an influence over people's life. Because like I said, the fact that he even thought, like, we all know we had several classes throughout the day. And even if I went in one of the classes, they would be looking at me like, okay, I guess you decided to come today. He the only one who actually thought me like, damn, what you gonna do, man? Like, I actually care about you. What you gonna do? Mm-hmm. And I was like, damn, my mom don't even say shit to me. Like,
I wasn't a bad student. It's just I never put my shirt in. The shirt tail was always stupid to me. Like, I
want to play some more.
Exactly.
Hey, somebody wanted to bring a gun. Like, oh shit, I can't. My shirt tail. Like they gonna still bring the gun. You know what I'm saying? But, so I hate it. But I know it's like my problem in school is it was too slow for me. I was one of the people that you can give a whole day's work and I have to do it in 30 minutes. And like, can I leave for the rest of the day? You know what I'm saying? Like, why am I here listening to some boring lecture I've already aced the test before you even instructed me on what it was? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. They should have put you in reach or gifted. They should have.
I was always in gifted classes coming up, and then
put you like in
I
program.
when I went to high school, that's why I got out of gifted classes because high school was too slow to me. In elementary school, like they would give me my work, and then I'd be done with it so quick that they would have to give me my other assignments right behind it while people still doing the first assignment. I'd be 3 or 4 assignments ahead, and I'm back there in the back of the seat. Like, what? Get to sleep. You're done with everything for the day. It's all requirement to be here. But I used to hate how slow it was. So I used to, because of my shirt tail, I used to always be ISS, and I'd be do all my, and it was perfect for me because
they give you all your
work.
All right. So another question. As teachers, I'm pretty sure y'all remember what is y'all worst experience as a student and your worst experience as a teacher? Since you on both sides now.
Knock on wood, I hadn't really had any bad experiences as a teacher. None that I can think of.
Have you had a bad experience as a student?
Mm-hmm. The same rule I had when I was a student, the same rule I had as a teacher. Go to work, do my job, go home.
Man, all right. It wasn't, I'm gonna say, I don't think it was a bad experience. But it was something I would never forget that a teacher told me in like 7th grade. First day of school, I'm talking about like off the rip, first day of school. I walk in this lady classroom, we sitting down, you know what I'm saying? She ain't even walked in here yet. We in there just talking. I was like, chilling, what up? She come in, she introduced herself. Hey, I'm so. She greeted everybody one by one. So this one, I don't know if every teacher, I don't remember every teacher had this, but in her class, it was in lines of twos, like two this behind her, two this behind them. Like it was just like that all over the room. So like I was the second row of this behind the first two. So she got to me, she looked at me, she said, I don't trust you. I said, what? But you don't even know me. Like, I don't even know you. Like, how can you say you don't trust me? Like, what kind of shit that say to somebody? So ever since then, I was like, what kind of teacher we got? Like,
Exactly. Oh yeah, I'm telling my mom.
like I said, it wasn't, I didn't consider it a bad experience. It was just awkward. Right. Like, how can you just say
That's
that to
your
somebody?
child. Like you gotta watch it.
How can you just say that to somebody? And I was like, that changed my perception of just like teachers in general. Like I ain't saying all teachers, but you know what I'm saying, just teachers in general. Like I was like, man, I thought y'all couldn't really. I guess that's an emotion, but at the same time, you don't even know me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It just after that, I was like, I wonder how other minute teachers think like this or act like this or would say some shit like this.
I hope she don't teach no more.
You got any bad experiences in school?
I don't know.
As a student, I ain't really had no bad experiences. I had experiences that, you just won't forget because it's something that just stuck out to me like, I don't like how that flowed, but I wouldn't say it was a bad experience. It was just like, dang, man, I should have went a different route as far as classes go. So in ninth grade, I went from biology and I jumped physical science and went to chemistry. My teacher had actual,
I couldn't even
he had a hockey team. He had season tickets to their games. So he took off work every home game. So he wasn't there to be present to really teach anything, but yet we had tests, we had labs and everything else.
He's like, what's
I was
going on?
not doing well in chemistry.
He's like, what?
And I'm just like, how am I going to do well if he's never here? And when he's here, he doesn't lecture. Now, when I went to 11th grade, they did let him go because they did cuts. And I was like, well, you deserved it. But, when I registered for classes, they were like, okay, you can go to AP Chemistry, which I had just not learned anything in, or you can go to Physics. And I was like, I don't learn nothing in chemistry. And it's AP. All right, I'm going to go to Physics. And went to Physics and it went downhill from there. I had a teacher that literally he'll lecture the whole class period, and I absolutely did not know anything that he was talking about. And when somebody asked him a question, he'll question them about the question they asked, and then he'll move on. So, like, let's say if I put it in math perspective, if I go to the board and I'm explaining a math problem, and the student raises their hand and says, so 2 + 2 = 4, right? He'll be like, does it? And then he'll just keep going with whatever he's doing.
I used to hate teaching like that.
And I'm just like,
nah, I don't know.
okay.
Like, me,
But he did not answer it. He just moved on with class.
So I was kind of like, puzzled. He asked a question and didn't answer it. So
Yeah, he didn't know professor. Like, he need to be in college type thing.
Right.
That's a college thing for sure.
I had the guy who was ranked third in our class was in the class. He sat near me. Like, hey man, you know what we talking about? He turned around. He was like, nah.
You don't know it, bro.
He didn't know. He's third in the class. You think I'm gonna know? No, I don't know. So, I mean, it was days we get assigned homework. Like, when I tell you, nobody knew what they was doing. No one knew what they were doing. I asked our valedictorian. I asked her at one point, like, "What we doing?" She was like, "I don't know." But she used to teach herself, because she used to go through and read the book and everything like that. I wasn't going through the read the book. I wasn't that motivated. But she used to go through and do it, and that's why she was valedictorian. Hey, do your thing. But I'm not doing it. But those was my bad experiences as far as being a student wise. As a teacher, I don't really have no bad experiences. Like,
I think I'm older than y'all, so
You think?
Most likely.
Are you?
Exactly.
I'm 36, people. In case
If they went to school with me, you know they.
Exactly. We are.
So I've been part of the age where we used to have chalkboards and like our book upgrades when they turned chalkboards into dry eraser boards.
Oh no, it's smart boards now, boy.
Yeah, I know.
But we didn't have
So-
chalkboards.
So,
At all.
so my question was, what's the biggest changes have you seen since your time in school to since you're educators now?
Like
textbooks.
yeah.
No textbooks at all.
Sorry, no
Yep, everything's Chromebook.
When I was in school, I had a textbook for every class. So it was a guarantee you had a locker because you get a textbook. Right?
Shit,
I had 3 lockers on your side.
But now they just brought back literature books, like that they're actually using a book for literature. But like for math, I used to be able to. When I was in school, they used to be like, go to this unit,
page,
go to this page. We're gonna do the even problems because the odd problems always have their
exact answer in the back.
Well,
Yep.
people always losing their textbook, so
that. I mean, but now
you lose like Chromebooks.
Right? Yeah, everything Chromebook.
Everything Chromebook, yeah.
But the thing about it is, it's not an online book. Like for math, it's not an online book that you can go to. Now we have different programs to help students do certain things, but it's not an
So
online
they're dependent
book.
on you to teach them.
Yeah.
I like that though, because that makes it like you really gotta pay attention if you don't learn.
So what are y'all teaching style? You know, like they use like some people are more hands on.
Like, are you the teaching from what's gonna be on the state test that they gotta take, or are you a more well-rounded teacher so you get everything?
I'm well-rounded. I try to hit it all.
I ain't gonna flip. When I was in college, I wound up like it was a lady. She just told us exactly what was gonna be on test, and I was like,
Some teachers are like
I was like, bitch, I can ace fuck out these people, but going there, man, she was thinking I was cheating. I did that shit like, oh, you taught us everything. But I like that shit. You said you well-rounded though?
Yeah, I like to hit it all. I do look at not the state test, but a district test, quiz or whatnot, just so I can hit it. But I like to go step by step of everything that they need to know above and beyond.
What about you though?
it's the same thing for me, well-rounded, but it's kind of like you got to teach what the district wants you to teach.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm teaching ninth grade math, so I teach Algebra 1. We have people from the board that comes to our meetings, and I mean they pretty much dictate how we're going to do things. Now, granted, in different places, they do teach the test, like you saying, like they literally came up there and was like, we do all multiple choice tests.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can teach students how to take a multiple choice test, you got to really teach them how to solve anything.
It's all about deduction.
As long as you know how to teach them how to eliminate answer choices. It's
I got this
easy.
answer.
Plug
This
in.
answer's closest one to it. So
Yeah, I mean, with a lot of math, if you can plug in this number, like you got 4 choices. If I can plug it in and be like, yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's it. Yep.
I ain't gotta do no math.
It's right.
So it's a mix of everything. Of course, we do backwards by design, so we make our tests, then quizzes, and then we go through our lesson plans and everything like that. So it is teaching the test, but at the same time, you're, like he said, teaching to hit everything. So I know what's going to be on the quiz and test, but I'm gonna hit all this stuff. Hopefully, pick it up.
Since I've been doing like social media, you know what I'm saying, stuff like that, I watch a lot of other podcasts. I watch a lot of other people talk about different things, like stuff related to life and stuff like that. So one thing I've noticed when it comes to schools, a lot of people complain that schools are the same. Like schools are like basically in the same genre as like when they were teaching in 1960 or 1970 or some shit like that. Like they saying that the classroom thing should not be there no more because, you know what I'm saying, it's kind of teaching people how to like be slavish. Like, you know what I'm saying, you gotta walk this white line. You gotta sit in these chairs for 8 hours a day type shit. Like, do y'all think that's how it is? Like, do y'all think it's better? Y'all think it's worse? Like, do y'all agree with what they're saying? Like, could something be changed for the better?
No, man. Like, is there anything that about the classroom setting that you would change
Because I know when I
to
was there,
improve?
I'm more hands-on. Like, math, if I'm mathing, like, don't just tell me. Write it on the board and let me come solve it. Because then I can understand because I'm doing it. But if you just break it down to me, I'll be like, I don't really want to hear you talk to me the whole time. Like, I'm more hands-on. But then at the same time, like I said, some people aren't like that. And some people think that's more old school teaching type shit.
I know, I used to think I was dyslexic as hell because somebody be sitting there saying something and they can talk 20 minutes. I wouldn't have heard, I'd be looking dead at you and not hear nothing you saying. It was just so monotone and like, and then everybody's working, writing something down, like, oh shit, I'm supposed to be writing something. Like, what are we writing? What page you on? Like, it's like, but then they hand me the work. I was like, oh, okay.
So,
okay, I'm finished.
Back.
See, I'm on the elementary level. So having kids come up to the board and do it themselves, and we go over it together, and having them point out their mistakes that they made, that helps them when it's time to do stuff on their own independently. So they can be like, this is what I did, this is what I don't need to do, this is what I need to continue to do. I can't really speak for the high school level. On the high school level, you're supposed to be able to understand what's being said within maybe a 15, 20, 30 minutes time span, and then be able to apply it. He can elaborate on that better than I can. But I know as far as elementary, being able to do it yourself, find your own mistakes, and fix your own mistakes, that's the best way forward, especially at that age level, because I do fifth grade math and ELA and all that good stuff.
At high school level, it's a different breed of kids, man. I'm just put it that way. I mean, like you say, you want to be hands-on, you want to come do it on the board. When I call somebody to answer a question, like on the board, they not getting up. They don't want to do it on the board. They barely want to speak it to me, and I'm writing it for them. So right now, like the generation that I've dealt with in school, like it seems to be getting worse as the years go on. It's like kids just want it handed to them. Like, no matter how much I help you, I'm not helping enough to where they can do it on their own. And like, no matter how much I stress that to them of, hey, you need to be able to follow along with me as I go through these examples, as I give you these notes. Follow along with me when I'm calling you answer this, cool. But once I turn you loose and let you do it on your own, I'm trying to see if you know it, but most kids won't do it. So I can't help them because they are not trying to help themselves. If I'm not doing it for them, if they're not walking along with me as I'm doing it on the board, it don't work. Nothing works.